Hello, everybody. This is Games for the Mind. Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Eyes of Ara. We are now in the second section of the game, section 2. And since we're in a new section, our item count has reset, so let's see what we need to find. This time we have to find 3 toys instead of 2. Still have 30 coins to find 2 blue balls, of course. 8 photos and 1 painting. So it looks like everything's the same except we have an extra toy in this chapter. Why don't we start by turning that annoying radio off behind us. That's much better. So what do we got in this room? Our main goal, obviously, is to open this door. Looks like we're going to have to find a cross-shaped item, but first let's collect everything else. To the right, you'll see a bowl here. Zoom in on it, and there's 2 coins in there. Here's a journal to read. And there's a very important note on this bookshelf right here. This is the first of 2 clues to open up a secret wall. Alright, now we can start solving the main puzzle down here. And zoom in on this very obvious pedestal to get the first part of the cross-shaped thingy. And the other part is going to be in this dresser right here. Combine the 2 items. And then grab the top part and drag it to the left to make it a cross. And it'll change in your item menu when you did it correctly. And place it in the door. And it'll open. Pretty easy. And we gotta wait for those guys to go up the stairs first. And now we can follow them. And now they're kind of right in our face, but they go up. Kind of hinting us to the fact that we need to lower the staircase to get out of here. But first, let's worry about the collectibles. To the left of this dresser, there's a little cupboard down here. Zoom in on it. And we have to form one of those zodiac symbols to open this. This one looks like Capricorn. And we are rewarded with 3 coins for our efforts. And to the right of the dresser, you'll see there's this picture here, but it looks kind of suspicious. If you zoom in on it, it's superimposed over the real photograph. So that's our first photograph. And let's see, there's a bunch of stuff to read over here on this table. Click on the Edge of Infinity. And you're going to actually want to really pay attention to this, especially the Dioscuri and what it means. Basically, the Dioscuri is a term for both of the Gemini twins, so keep that in mind for later. And click on the poster. And here are the Gemini twins, Castor and Pollux. Make a note of their names. This section of the game is all about the Gemini twins. Zoom out from the table, and let's look at the other table. We have this poster here. The Eskimo Nebula, NGC 2392. Now, 2392 is a code that we're going to be using in just a second, so keep that in mind, please. And over here, there's another poster. the Medusa Nebula, SH2-274. Now, 274 is going to be a code we're going to use a little later, so jot that down, 274. Up here is a spot where there's a 4-digit code, and we just got one 2 seconds ago. It was 2392. 2392. And that opens that. But let's try to figure out how to set these. There are 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, all around the room. Open the dresser doors. Zoom in on this. And here's the answer. So you see this symbol here, which is Taurus, is encased in a box, and none of the other ones are. Well, that was the one we just opened. It was inside of a little cage. So that is Taurus, and then just follow the directions for the other ones. So this other Taurus is obviously this one up here because it's right across from the one in the cage. This will be the Comet, and this will be Aquarius. So let's change these. Taurus. Taurus. I don't know if the comet is like an older symbol for one of the 12 zodiacs. It isn't one of the modern ones, that's for sure. Aquarius, and that should lower the stairs for us. So that we can go up. And here they are waiting for us. They just kind of scatter all about. Alright, let's head into this room first. This is the bathroom. Keep in mind, you're going to find 4 of these. Just remember where they are. Open the dresser here and zoom in down here to get a photo. Photo 2 of 8. Open up the cabinet under the sink and you'll see this. Now you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these golden square increments. That's what we're going to be using to set these. You can put it in between them, these dials, but you don't need to. Let me show you where the clue is. It's right behind us. These birds here. See, this is the lowest bird in position 1. This bird here is the only bird that's in position 2, which is 1 higher than the first position. But up here, there are 2 birds in position 3. And then finally, there's a bird at the very highest point at position 4. Alright? So it's 1, 1, 2, 1, basically. From left to right, so let's set that. The lowest position, then the next lowest. Then there were 2 birds on the second to highest position, and then finally there was a bird at the highest. You do it right, that'll open, and grab the little rocket ship. If you look up at the ceiling, there's a trap door you can open by dragging down on that. Let's go up. And, well, we hear a radio up here, but we can't really do anything because it's completely pitch black. There's just a little bit of light shining on the light bulb, so let's go to turn it on. But we have a problem because the light bulb is out, And if you click on it, it'll even unscrew itself and break. So now we need to find another light bulb, which will be a little later. So let's get out of here for now. We can leave the bathroom. Let's go down the hall. And over here is a box with a key inside. Go ahead and grab that. And over here is a sheet of paper. Go ahead and read that. It looks like you can look at that one, but you can't. Down here is another one of those Zodiac puzzles. This one is Gemini. It's kind of what this section's all about. You get a toy. Over here there's a treasure chest, but we can't open it, and there's no keyhole. We're gonna need a lever in here. That happens a little later. This door's locked. We can't get in there yet. These two doors are not locked. Let's go in here first. This looks like the children's room. If you click, you'll see there's a little journal on the floor between the two beds. Click on it. And there's a hidden photo. And click on the journal. Little short one. Zoom out. Open the dresser here to get a clue that we'll need for later. So this is showing a picture of a room that we have not been in yet. And we have an arrow down here signifying that you need to rotate something 180 degrees. And to the right we have an arrow signifying that you need to rotate something clockwise 90 degrees. And this arrow is drawn under this lamp. And this arrow is under this lamp, and these two lamps are the only two things in common between both sides of the room. Let's open this chest. You see this symbol here matches with the symbol on the key. And we have our other rocket ship. Zoom out. And here's a really tricky thing. To the right on the ground of this nightstand, if you look real close, you'll see this floorboard is sticking up. So zoom in on it and push it up out of the way, drag it, and there's an action figure down there. Now open up this box. And you'll see there's a picture of nebulas and space. And you can put two things in here. And it sure does look like it'll be these two rocket ships. So put them in there. To activate the music box. And it lights up this painting. Now, fun fact, I actually use the mobile version of this game to practice. And this puzzle is not in the mobile version, so hopefully I remember how to do this. It's not too hard, though. Basically, there are a bunch of different pictures in each of the 4 sections. And you need to put together the one picture that will match everything, and I'm pretty sure this woman here that looks like she's in a white wedding dress or something is going to be over here on the right side, if I remember correctly. No, I guess not. Maybe she's on the left. Yeah, so she's on the left, not the right. Not that hard. Grab the item here. We're going to be looking for 2 of these. But the main puzzle in this room is actually over here. And it looks a lot like the one from the first section. But this one's actually a lot easier. So our goal is to get the star tile over here where there's stars, the moon tile here, and the comet here. But right now you'll see only the star tile is open. The star space is only open for a tile, so we have to put the comet in there to open up something else. And that'll open up this one. We have no choice but to put the moon tile there. And put the star one in here. Now, if you memorize which order these indentations opened, just work your way backwards to figure out how you can put the tiles back in the center piece so that when you do it again, you can put the star here, the comet here, and finally the moon here. So do moon first, then comet, then star. Just work your way backwards. And then just do what we did before. And now you'll see one of these. All you gotta do is click in the center, and it'll turn on a blue light. And basically, we have to turn on 4 of those on top of finding that same triangle object that we found at the end of Chapter 1 to open the door this time. And here's one of our yellow balls, but it's trapped in a cage. And you see we can hit these, and you can only light up 3 at a time. So keep that in mind for later. We don't know the code yet. And I think we're done in here for now. Oh, well, we can look at this thing, but we don't have the answer yet. You see, at the bottom 2 spaces, there are always these 2 yellow balls, and whenever you highlight a letter, you'll notice either you're covering up the yellow balls, or one is showing, or both of them are showing for all 6 spots. Alright, let's go into the room adjacent to that one. This is the master bedroom. You can read a note here. And if you open the dresser, one of those little guys flies out. And you notice there's really nothing in the dresser, but on top of the dresser is a photograph and a drawing. And over here there are 2 spots with coins. Here's one with 2 coins. And over here there's 3. And in the trash can, there's another note. And now we can start solving puzzles in here. You'll notice these 2 identical looking boxes. Go ahead and open one. And this is basically a picture of the 2 Gemini twins as babies, and you're going to want to just unscramble it. It's pretty simple. There we go. And grab the item. And do the same thing on the other side. Again, grab the item. And now we have both items that fit in both boxes. Here you can set a code, but pay attention. Up here we have those same yellow balls we saw in the other room. So obviously this is telling you how to set them in the other room. And if you get confused, like, oh, over here there's a space, but is it one space or two spaces or what? Well, just line it up with this down here. So there's only one of these underneath the space, so it's only one space. So this goes to here, this goes to the second one, this goes to the third one, etc. Fourth, all the way up to 6, okay? So that's our first code, jot that down. Let's get the other one on the other side by placing our item in here. And here it is, so jot that down, and once you have both codes, let's go back to the other room and put them in. Okay, so 2, 0, 1, 2, 2, 0. So the first one spells out Pollux, which is the name of one of the Gemini twins, and I bet you the other code will be Caster. Let's just see. 1, 2, 2, 0, 1, 2. Caster. Yep. So Caster and Pollux is the answer. Let's go back. And let's see, this one is Pollux. And grab the item on the right here. And let's put Caster in on the other one. And grab the item. Now let's solve both of these. So what you have to do is unscramble this so that the warrior is the warrior, the horse is the horse, and the other warrior facing the other direction is the other warrior. But then after you line all of that up, you have to make sure that you move the pieces out of the way of these metal parts at the bottom so that they can fling outward. So let me show you. Let's just do this horse. Looks good. Line it up a little bit better. Okay, now everything's lined up correctly except the pieces are not out of the way of the metal thing. Just rotate this so that one of the metal parts at the bottom is facing you. And then simply just move the pieces in the same direction out of the way of it. And it should pop open. There we go. And that happens to be the one that goes in here because it's 3, not 2 legs. So let's put it in. And get your item. Zoom out. Solve this one now. This one's easier because there's only 2. This one's 2 horses, so you have to just line it up by which direction they're facing. One's facing left, the other's facing right. Okay, that's good. Now just move the pieces out of your way. There we go. Put it in. And grab your item. And zoom out. Now you'll notice that there are two paintings in here where you can rotate these and they have kind of a weird pattern. And there's also a 4-digit code for an alternative way to solve them, an easier way, aka cheat codes. There's another one here. Well, the clue for that is on this bookshelf to the left. In this book here, we have the 3 images. This one here is, we can't see it yet. It's in another room. But here are the 2 pictures in this room, and you'll see under all 3 of these are dates, and they even wrote cheat codes as a little hint that you can put these codes under each of the 3 paintings, and it'll solve it for you without having to unscramble it. But we, of course, are going to do it the hard way because I don't like taking shortcuts. But what you're going to want to do is probably take a blown up picture on your phone of each of these 3 because you're gonna have to refer back to them. I'm gonna try to just do it from here. You'll see it's this last book item. It's not one of these puzzle ones here, so keep that in mind. And we're gonna start with this one because it's the easiest. Now, every 3rd tile that you move, it's going to move a bunch of tiles depending on where you clicked. So let me show you the pattern for this one. If you click on any of these tiles in the first 2 columns the 3rd time, 3, it will rotate each tile once in the first 3 columns. And if you do the same thing, if your 3rd click is on this side in any of these tiles that are in the last 2 columns, 1, 2, 3, it will rotate 1 tile clockwise in the last 3, not 2, columns. And if you do it in any of the 3 tiles in the middle as your 3rd click, it will rotate the 3 middle columns once. So if you want to solve this puzzle the easy way, just put 1297 in here, and the painting will lift up. But I'm going to do it the hard way like I just explained. So let's start with the left 2 columns. I'm going to set those. See, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one's wrong. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. There we go. 2, 3, whatever. Okay. Now that the left 2 columns are set, let's try for the right 2 columns. Oh boy, I don't even know how these go. Start with this one. 1. That's probably backwards, right? Yeah. 2. And then just for your 3rd click this time, click on the left. Because even though you're scrambling these, you're scrambling them all in the same way, so you'll be able to set it back pretty easily. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I think this is good, right? Oh no, this one's not good. But 3, and then 1. Do this. There we go. Now, oh, okay. Now I think we're good because all we got to do is set this piece. But if you weren't good at this point, what you would do is set the 3 middle pieces while clicking either the left or right because you don't want to scramble up the whole middle section. And then once you get the 3 middle ones in the same, they don't have to be set perfectly correct. Like, they just have to be aligned so that, like this bottom one is 1 away from correct, the middle one is 1 away from correct, the top one is 1 away from correct, for example, and then compare it to either the left or the right in terms of, because the left and right will be correct, and you want to determine after you align all the middle ones, how many are they away from correct, and let's say they're 2 away from correct, then you would go like, your goal would be to click each middle piece twice, while every third click will be either to the left or right. So you'd be like 1, 1, 3. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not a good way to. You'd be like 1, 1, off click, 1, 2, off click, 2, 2. Then you'd be all set. Then all you'd have to do is, flip the left or right to match the middle so that they're all good. But whatever, we don't need to. Sorry, I hope that makes sense for you, but if not, just copy my moves. Alright, put that in there. And we open this. You can read this note. Remember, we're trying to get all the notes in the game, because it's an achievement. And here's our second little blue light that we need. And some guns and stuff. Interesting. Alright, so that's all we can do in here for now. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit, and our goal now is to use these 2 items. I'll show you where to do that. And by the way, here's those lights we've been activating. We activated one in the children's room and one in the master bedroom, and you see that there's 2 more. And we also need the triangle piece to go in here, like in the first part. Alright, so these 2 items go here. And what you can do with these is input a code. So these circular sections here are the position that each symbol gets entered. So if for example you want your first symbol to be circle, you drag the circle down here, and that entered circle as the first. And if you want down triangle, that's the down triangle on the left. See, its faces down when it gets down there. And so on and so forth. And then you click that when you have the right combo. Oh, and worth noting that there are 3 wires coming out of here, so there's going to be 3 combinations total. And the first combination is located right on the door that we're trying to open. So we have down triangle, square, circle, up triangle, down triangle. So let's put it in. Down triangle, square, circle, up triangle, down triangle. And enter. And the door opens, so let's go in. Alright. Open up the dresser drawers. And you'll see this box. And we need to find out what the code is. And the way you do that is you find where the symbols are hidden throughout the room. If you look closely here, here's the first one on this box. So that's the first symbol. That is, I believe, Aries. And here's the third one. That's Leo. And here's the second one, which is Virgo. So write that down. And now we can open the box. So Aries, Virgo, Leo. And we get a yellow diamond. We have to find 3 more of those that are hidden throughout the room. Here's another one. Here's one. And there's one way up here. Alright. Now that you've looked around the room a little bit, it might look familiar to you. It is this room in the picture. And I already explained this. This lantern, you turn 180 degrees. Obviously doesn't matter which direction. Even though it says clockwise, it doesn't matter. And turn this one clockwise 90 degrees. So that's facing to the right. $90 to the right. 180 degrees. And we get our third light thingy. And this item, where we can put the diamonds. So put them in. And now it's a circle, and we can put it here. And here we get the gold piece. This will be for when we solve that other painting in the master bedroom, which is a lot harder than the first one, by the way. But what else could we do in here? There's this that you need to unscramble. This is kind of like the map, the floor map puzzle from the first area. This centerpiece won't move, and you have to move all the other pieces to form a whole picture. So for this one, I like to line up this little red tower with this one. The next piece is pretty easy. Just line up the crescent moon with the crescent moon. Like right here. And the last piece, I don't know, the planet-looking thing with the rest of it. And you'll get these 3 lights that light up. Write those down because we'll have to input that in the children's bedroom. But we're done with that for now. And there's some coins down here. 3 of them. And later on we will, oops, can't read this book. Later on we will get a key with the Gemini symbol on it, and we can open this. And there's another one of these things. I'll show you where all those are in due time, but I think we're good in here, yeah. Now we gotta solve that other painting. And this one really can give me problems. This one. So if you want to do this the easy way, just input the number 1692 down here, and it'll solve itself. But of course, I'm going to do it the hard way. So just like with the other one, every third click will rotate a bunch of squares in a certain pattern, but this one is kind of strange. Let me show you. So let's start with the first one, the first square in the top left. 1, 2, and 3. Now that's a pretty easy to see pattern. It's pretty much every other square, starting with the first one, that rotates from left to right, all the way down. That's how a lot of them are. For example, if you do this one, it'll be the same thing. Same exact thing. This one, I don't remember if it's the same. Let me see. Yep, it is. Yep. Yep, so all those good squares, I'm gonna call them. Every other square, let's say every odd square from left to right, if you're reading this like a book. If you do your third click on any of those squares, they'll all rotate. The tricky part is when you have your third click on any of the other squares, then the pattern starts to get a little bit different. Let's do the second one. Now that looked almost the same, but if you notice in the top left corner, you had all 3 of these rotate instead of just 1 and 3. You had the second one rotate as well. And the same thing would happen if this square was your third click. You'd have these 3 rotate along with the normal ones that always rotate. And then the middle row has some differences too. I think if you click this one as your third square, it'll rotate these first, or these 3 in a row here. Let me see. 1, 2. Oh, just these 2. These 2 in a row. Oh, so hold on. Hold on. Let me see something. Okay, so that makes sense because basically you're rotating one with the third click. That's not one of the squares that'll rotate, but still those squares will still rotate all on the third click. So that makes sense. That's actually not as complicated as I originally thought. So the way I like to solve this one is I like to set the squares that don't normally rotate first. That's pretty easy because your third click will just rotate all the other squares. Then I like to tackle the squares that normally rotate one at a time. And every time you have to do your third click on one of those squares, it gets a little bit annoying because then I would just, once the third click messes everything up, I just get it so that everything's back to the way it was with a bunch of clicks on one of those squares. Then at the end of all that, you will probably have one square that is off from the rest of this. It'll be one of the squares that normally rotates. It'll be off from the other ones that normally rotate. And I believe the only way to fix it is to manipulate it so that you have to use one of your clicks on a square that doesn't normally rotate so that you throw off the pattern of it just barely missing being able to get in line before they all rotate. That'll make a lot more sense when I actually show you guys. So let's get to it. I'm going to reset it because I don't remember how many clicks I have. Okay, so let's set all the even squares. Alright, so 1, 2... I think that's actually the correct position on that one. 3... Yep. 2, 4... 6. That one looks correct already. 1... I don't know the correct position on that one. 2, 3... 1... I'm guessing it's this. Yeah, 1... 2, 3... Oh, whoops. I meant to do this one. Yeah. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3... 1... So, okay, so are these all correct? 2, 3... Alright, so now I know I have 2 good clicks ahead of me. Let me just check. That one's good. I think that's good. Skip. 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 That's good. I think. Okay. Yep. I think those are all good. Now let's do the odd numbered ones. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. This was one of the ones that rotates, right? 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I probably should just focus on messing up one of the squares so I can get all the other ones in line, I believe. Because how many are messed up now? A few of them are. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I really should have kept track of the... Yeah, that's what I should have done. I should have just used this top left one and keep track of the ones that are good. Let's see if I can get back to that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's gotta be it. Okay. So we have these 3 that are off for right now. Let's... This one, this one, this one. Oh, and this one. Alright, so let's try to... I'll use this top left square as my sacrifice piece, if you will. I want only one piece to be messed up by the end of this, so... Let's see. 1, 2, 3... So now get it back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Get it back to where it was. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, and it worked. Alright, well, I have 2 methods for fixing it if this corner piece was just so messed up that you could never get it to match up again. What I did on my practice run to fix that was I would click on all of the odd pieces as many times as the corner odd piece was off by the whole picture. And then after my practice playthrough, I thought, because that was kind of tedious, I thought, well, maybe it would have been easier if I would just click an even piece and then click, or even click 2 even pieces. No, just once. Click 1 even piece, then the corner piece, then rotate, and keep doing that until the corner piece matches with the other odd pieces. And you know what might even be easier than that is if you do the reverse of what I did in total. If you set all the if you set all the odd pieces first, the ones that all rotate, and then you fix the one that's going to be messed up by using the even pieces, which won't even be set for you in the first place, so you're not going to feel like you're messing anything up. Then just set the even pieces, and every third click, just click any odd piece, and you should win that way. I think that would have been easier, but I was lucky, and I was able to do it my own new way. But I like this chapter a lot because I get to experiment with stuff like that. Puzzles like that are tedious, that's what I love, because you learn new and better ways to do them. Anyway, put that gold piece in, and we can now go into a new room. Oh boy. We have a computer here. We're missing a disk. The desktop is the Gemini twins. We have this strange thing that looks like a sun. Here's our third and final really hard painting puzzle, but I'll tackle that a little later. Here's a journal. Open this box. And grab these 4 knives. And you should recognize this symbol by now. These are on all the green knife hilts that are located around here. Now we have the 4 knives to put in there for each one. By the TV, there's a couple coins. Now we have 15 of those. If you zoom in on this door, we can unlock it. That was the door that was locked from the other side, so that's a shortcut back in here. Now let's figure out this sun puzzle here. So if you look up, you can actually see the yellow ball that we're trying to get, and if you zoom in on it, you can see that there are certain lights on the outside that are lit up. It looks like 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 7 o'clock, roughly. So those are the 4 we want to turn on here. That looks closer to 3 and 7. It's just rough. And if you get it right, the chandelier will come down and you can grab your yellow ball. Now we can head into here. This is the master bathroom. Zoom in on this painting. You'll notice you'll get a hint thing where they draw it on a piece of paper. The shield should look familiar to you if you were paying attention. The shield and the sword. Although I think there are two swords where the solution is, but no matter. And it says 1705. We don't know what that means yet. Down here below the sink, you can open the cabinet like in the other bathroom. And now we have a light bulb to use for the attic. Open this dresser. You can get a couple coins. I think that's it for in there. And here we have another zodiac symbol. This one is Libra. And we get a photograph. And over here is our second out of 3 Micromegas books. And with that, I think we're done in the bathroom. Let's go back out to the main hall. Let's go in the attic now that we can. Put the light bulb in. Alright, there's a bunch of stuff we can get in here. Let's focus on these drawings. Make sure you look at all of them. Okay, I think that's all that we can actually pick up. Let's see, there are some coins over here somewhere, I think. Yep, 2 coins. And really hidden over here is a button which turns on a light that shows a painting. And that's our painting for this chapter. There's a radio you can turn off, although I was not hearing the noise for some reason, but that's that. There's a toy hidden here. On the ceiling, on the other side of the light, you'll see this little thing sticking out. That's a key. And we have a treasure chest with a 3-digit code. And remember, I told you at the very beginning of this section to remember the code 274 that we got from one of the Nebula posters. And that'll get us a lever. And if you go over here and open this door, this is where the 3 yellow balls are going to go. And with that, I think we are done up here for now. Let's put the knives in all their holsters. So there's one here in this bathroom. There's one in this room. While we're in here, we can use the Gemini key to open this. It gets us a photograph. There's one here. And the last one is downstairs, but I want to get that other yellow ball first from the children's room before I forget. So here, just input those 3 lights that lit up in the other room, which were this one. Oh, this one, sorry. And I think this one. Yep. And that'll go into the other room. So just go over there and grab it. Alright, let's go down. Oh, by the way, while I'm down here... Oh, I don't think I picked up that clue. Alright, back up. In the children's room, remember we found... Not in the children's room, but in the very first room of this chapter, we found this clue. Why doesn't it work? And it shows a bunch of bricks with X's. And she's wondering why it doesn't work. Oh, this note down here that I almost completely missed. If you read it, I figured it out. Blah, blah, blah. Set the middle brick in the 3rd row into the correct position last. So basically what it's saying... What it's saying is that these bricks with X's, X means don't touch it. Keep it out. And when all the bricks are out, you're going to push these bricks in, the ones without X's. And she's saying save this one for last. The middle brick in the 3rd row. Put that in last. And that's the code. And we could do that downstairs now. But how do we get to where the brick wall is? Well, remember this clue that we just got from the master bathroom? This picture with the shield and the sword? Well, here's the shield right here. There's even a bunch of weapons near it. You could even push the button, but nothing happens. But the other part of the clue said 1705. Well, if you looked around down here, you can manipulate this clock however you want. And 1705 in 24-hour time is 5:05. So put in 5:05 and then push the shield button. And a secret passage opens. And for that we get one of our blue balls. And here's one of those images carved into stone that I told you in each section to write down, and write down that it's associated with that section. So make a rough drawing of this and write down that it goes for section 2. Alright. And if you look up here, under the stairs, there's a box. And inside the box are 2 coins. And also in the same area, over here we have another code for those rotating shape, rotating circular shape things. You know, near the bathroom. So there's one of the codes there. All right. So here's the brick wall. You'll see a couple bricks sticking out, which signifies that's where it is. Zoom in on it. And first we want to get all the bricks out. So the first row had 2 bricks. That's how you know that's the first row. This row had 3. The rest of the rows have 3, actually. So get them all out. And then you're gonna push in these 4 and this one, but you're gonna do this one last. So you're gonna do boom, 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 boom. Okay? Alright, let's try it out. So we're gonna do this one, skip that one, that. All right. And we get an achievement, the Ghost of Crazy Catherine, for finding this room. There's a note here. And we want to open that treasure chest, and the way you do that is to pull this lever here. That'll get us a photo, 7 out of 8. And that's actually all we can do in here, even though it's a cool looking room. Alright, we can leave here now. And let's actually not forget to do what we came down here for in the first place. Put the last knife in. Alright. Go. Oh, so we have one of the codes for this. This is what I was I mean, what do you name this thing? Just gonna name it the shape code. The shape combination lock. I don't know. But I forgot to point out another hidden code for that. The third and final one is in this room up on the ceiling. Right here. So jot that one down. And let's input both of them. So the one that we just saw in that room over there was circle, square, down triangle, square. So to do one that's already in position, just drag it away, don't let go, and then just let go when it's back down there. Square, circle, and up triangle. Enter. And it opens a door, and there's our last photo. 8 out of 8. And the other code is down triangle, up triangle, and then we have a line, and that means to not input anything. And the way you are supposed to not input anything is just to make either side horizontal and let go, and it'll still input it, but since there's nothing down here, it inputs it as nothing. So nothing, and then I believe square, down triangle, and 2 nothings. Nothing, nothing. Okay. Get a bunch of coins. Alright. Doing good. Now we can go over here. And before we go back in here, we do have the lever for this box now. Let's put it in. And get our final yellow ball. And before I move on over there, I might as well go into the attic and put those in before I forget. Two, three. All right. Doing good, doing good. Zoom in on this box now that we put all the knives in. And we get a disc. Access. And we know where that goes, in this computer right here. Now we need a password. Well, remember at the beginning of this section I told you to remember the Gemini terms in the book that was located next to this Gemini poster here that is the desktop background? Well, you'll see here is a picture of the 2 Gemini twins, and we know that the term for the 2 Gemini twins together is Dioscuri, so that is the answer. And unfortunately, we can't just type it in for real. We have to use these arrow keys here. And I must have passed the I as I was explaining that. D-O... Scurry. Dioscuri. I think that's how you spell it, and then just hit the enter button. Access granted. Make sure you read these logs, because they count for notes. And then hit down and open the display case. But go back to the computer, and when your cursor here is down on the open, you can hit to the right, and it'll highlight this, which is a symbol for opening a door, and hit enter. And you'll open a secret passage behind the TV here. But let's pick this up and go into the secret passage. And on the floor here to the right, you will find the rest of your coins. This should be all of them. For you here. Yep, 30 out of 30. Now go in the trapdoor, and we will end up back in section 1. And you should remember this area. We are behind where we got those 3 items that kind of look like light brights that can show you, you know, sword, flag. Well, here's the painting for section 1, and you get an achievement, Dreamscapes, because we have all 3 paintings already in the game. But also down here, don't forget, down on the ground near the ladder that you just came from is our last Gargoyle Head that we need for Chapter 1, so make sure you click on it. And after that, we're all set to go back. It'll load Chapter 2 again, or Section 2, Area 2, whatever you want to call it. And go back. And, well, I've been procrastinating on this now, but this is the only puzzle standing between us and getting out of Section 2 into Section 3. And without using the cheat code, which is 1787, which you can do and you can solve it and you'll be fine, this is probably the hardest puzzle in the whole game for me. I even had to ask the dev, how do you go about solving these circles? I got really fed up with it. And his answer, he did answer me, and his answer surprised me. He said basically that the puzzle is really a lot more, it seems a lot more, it seems more impossible in your head than it really is. And what you have to do is work on completing one circle at a time before moving on to another circle. When you do move on to another circle and you mess up any of the circles you solved before, just stop what you're doing and fix that circle that you solved before, and before moving on to the next circle. And eventually you will solve the puzzle. So you see these circles, they turn, and they each have these 4 sections. And you have to, those 4 sections in each circle are mixed up. And you have to not only put them in the right spots, but then have it so that the circle is actually facing the right direction. All 4 of them. So what I want to do, and I did not do this in my practice run, and hopefully this won't screw me up. I'm going to first orient this so that all I'm worried about right now is the center of each circle, like the main part. I want to just orient it the right way, which I think now it is, because I would just want to see, you know, which pieces are missing from which section. I'm going to work on this circle first, the bottom left one. So I think this piece goes here. What is it? This that goes there? I'm not really sure. Why don't we start by doing this bottom one, because it's not attached to any of the other circles. So first move this so it's not gonna get screwed up. Move it with the other circle. And just put that in. And yes, okay, so that's good. This does look like his foot. Because you see this guy over here is missing a foot too, and I remember thinking like, gee, it's probably easy to get them mixed up, the 2 feet or whatever, but I think this one looks like it really fits with this guy. Okay, so I see this one goes all the way here. So let's see if I do a little bit of this. And oh, whoops. Sorry, I did that reverse in my head. Put that in first and then this. Duh, okay. Actually, ideally, I would have wanted to do this one first because it's not attached to any of the other... It's not in the inner part. I kind of would want to do the inner part last, I'm thinking, maybe. Don't know if you really have to, but anyway. What goes here, anyway? I'm guessing it's this piece. I don't really see any other piece that would make sense for there. Why don't we put it here and turn this around like that and have it go in. Put this back. Okay, now we're just missing that. Oh, but look, it's right there. Okay. So this circle's done. And obviously this is going to get harder and harder as we get further into it, but... well, I think... I'm going to do the top left one next. So, let's see. Let's see, what would go here anyway? It's gotta be this, right? Yeah, I think it's gotta be. So, let's see, why don't we just move it here? Let's rotate that there. Move it in and see. Yeah, it looks like it fits pretty well. The top piece, I think, is right here already. That looks like it goes there to me. Yeah, I think that's got it. It's the only piece that has an archway in it, or archway or whatever, and that's right there. Let's try it. You know what? I'm just thinking though, it'd be nice to kill two birds with one stone and move this piece into this guy's chest. But you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna do what I'm supposed to do and focus on one circle at a time. Oh, get it in there. Okay. Now this piece is probably this right there, so... let's move it into this circle down here. Let's get it out of the way, out of this circle. And... it's gonna be this piece that we're trying to change. Okay. Oh, but we messed up this piece. Let's get that back in action. Whoop. That's not the right piece. Oh, why did I get confused? Why did I get confused? Where is that piece now? Oh, right here. Okay. Hold on. Alright, so are we good on the left side? Yeah, 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 yeah. No. Yeah, yeah. So, no, this piece is not right. It should... I think it is this one right here. I think, yeah. Looks like it. So... let's get it in this circle. And it's this piece we're trying to change. Oh, but then we screw up... hold on. Hold on. I gotta pay more careful attention here. Alright, well, okay. It's okay to get the piece to where it's going, then you can fix this, which will inevitably be messed up, right? So... this piece does go in this one, I think. Alright, because then this guy is straight up, and this piece is correct. And now all we have to do is fix this. Which... ended up here. Which, that would be great and everything, but then this whole circle is rotated incorrectly. So, let's see. Looks like these two already solved themselves, so we're really just trying to solve the last circle now. Which is going to be tricky. I'm just going to use the top circle as much as possible to solve the bottom one. Alright, so... this piece is correct. Both of these circles are oriented correctly. The bottom one needs to be this guy's foot, which is up here. Maybe we should do that one first. By moving it like this. 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 Okay. Now... let's see. What's the next piece that we should solve? Out of the 3 that are messed up. This is going to be a little tricky. I didn't run into this problem on my practice run, actually. I gotta do some quick thinking here. Alright, I think I'm gonna go for this one. Real quick. Whoops. Didn't mean to move that. Okay. And yeah, that should do it. All we gotta do is turn this. And we're good. All you gotta do is be careful, I guess. There's our last button. Now we have all 4 blue lights. And see, these guys are waiting for us, so we can get out of here now. Let's make sure we have all the items in this chapter first. Yes, we do. See, this is the first chapter where you can actually get everything in one go without having to come back. We have everything here. And when you zoom in on the door, that'll open, so you can put the triangle in. And we get our achievement for completing the chapter, Memories of Times Past. As usual, the blue dudes go on ahead of us. And we could go into section 3. You've seen this loading screen before when we found that hidden passage that got us the painting for chapter 3 and opened the gold storage. Alright, guys, so we made it to chapter 3. This is the last big chapter of the game. Yep, this is the last one, so we're getting there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if this helped you out, and I will certainly see you in the next video. Take care.